So great to be back here in Hollywood, in the land where Bad Religion was born.
An A&R guy at Atlantic, an old friend of ours, used to write for a fanzine, says, hey man, you should sign to Atlantic, it's cool here, I'll be your A&R guy, we know each other. On a punk label, you can only ever sell, what you're doing, which is great, but don't you want to be even bigger? Don't you want everyone to have a chance to be exposed to your music? And everyone in the band, including myself, thought, yeah, that would be a good opportunity, and maybe an indie label can't, in this day and age, reach the mass market. So it sounded like a good idea, and we went through with it. And something like 2 weeks later, the Offspring's song "Come Out and Play" got on the radio, and that record just went through the roof, and went platinum and went beyond. It sold something like 5 million in the U.S. now, proving that a punk band can do it on an indie label. By then, Bad Religion had signed to Atlantic, and Offspring and Rancid were on Epitaph, becoming superstars, and I would have liked for my band to have been on Epitaph, becoming a superstar too.
Nirvana came along and just blew all the doors open for everybody. Next up is Green Day and the Offspring and all that, and so everyone's thinking the same thing for us.
I had just put out a record by the Offspring that was just selling millions of records, and Epitaph was a tiny indie at the time. It was me and 5 other people.
Brett and I were working at Epitaph, so Epitaph's growing through the roof. It's just, every band is starting to sell big numbers, and punk rock is now huge.
Everything was getting so intense that there was no way in the world I was going to be able to do Bad Religion and Epitaph at the same time.
Bad Religion is taking up all of our time. It used to just be more of a 3-month-a-year kind of hobby-ish thing, and now Greg says, I'm not going to go back to school. I want to tour more with the band and spend more time dedicated to the band. But that's not going to work at Epitaph with Brett because he needs to spend more time with the label.
There's no way that I could just abandon Epitaph at this moment because it was just exploding at the seams.
When Brett left the band, it was a frightening moment. I wasn't able to really understand the impact that it was going to have. I believed that somehow we could overcome the drawbacks of losing Brett by maybe elevating our commercial publicity and just trying to paint a lighter picture of the band and where it came from, as opposed to the real substance of the band, which is its songwriting. In a sense, I really believed all these things could overcome the shortcomings of losing Brett. Some of my anger I put into just moving forward with the band, maybe it's what saved the band. I tried to make the band just as good without him. Well, that didn't happen. We had varying degrees of success through those years. Overall, those were the kind of the dark ages of Bad Religion.